myself to the stage. Yeah, what's good? It's your boy Alex with Lab Rats Productions, and we are in the crummy little room. we're in the lab right now, but we are just listening to some beats and trying to figure out some issues. So we are here with another test video. So just a quick little summation of what's going on so far. Right now, I'm trying to do a couple of things. I'm trying to run my audio through the Apollo X4 interface. I have the Apollo X4. I also have another Apollo interface that I use. So I'm hoping that the issues I'm having with this, I'll be able to resolve with this. Will be able to kind of be a universal fix for all of the Apollo devices that I have. But long story short, during recording, I was getting issues with crackling and pops, and latency and some other things. I was able to kind of get those figured out, but I was also having issues with a couple of things to get some of that taken care of. But now I've created another issue, whereas essentially every couple of minutes or so there is some sort of audio drop. So I'm looking to figure out how to address that. One of the quick things I'm gonna do is address this camera real quick. I think I like that a little bit better. All right, so.
Ring it down, what it be? It rains, it rains, it rains, it rains, it rains, it rains. Stop ringing, please. Let me live. I just want to live. That's it.
And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna also just share the full screen so y'all can see some of the settings I'm working with.
I be my nigga turn me a judge. I swear to God, now that you just said turn me a judge, I'm just crazy. Hey, Kaji, send me some shit. Send me some loot. I'm in the motherfucker working right now. Thank you. It wasn't no one, though. It's special. But you know, the haters just say it sound like the same shit. Oh, and no, we know how it go. But a nigga trying to sound like me, though, that's what's crazy. This will make it so crazy.
Alright, so I use this Ozio, Ozio. So I'm running everything through Apollo. Let me go ahead and pull up control. Console, oh, sorry. So Apollo comes with their own like routing software, and it's still loading up. So, all right. So, got a couple of things. Apollo comes with its own routing software. You can add like plugins and stuff like that for different effects. So, like I have the API Vision channel strips on both of my inputs. I'm using the input one on the console. So console is going through to Ozio. So kind of one of the workarounds when in getting the audio to stream without having crackles and pops was to install this Ozio, which is kind of like a almost like a virtual router that kind of creates some latency and stuff. And if I'm somebody it's software that allows the audio to kind of move a little bit easier in a virtual environment. I think that's kind of the simplest way that I can kind of put it. Let's see. I don't want to stop it and lose my audio though. All right, we are back in here. All right. So, I think we kind of left off at looking at that thing. Let's see. All right, cool. So, essentially, what's going on is I'm having an issue with consistent dropouts. So my audio is dropping out in consistent places, and well, like every couple of minutes, but like, and it'll drop out for about 5 seconds, and it'll kind of come back in. And the video capture is fine, but it's an audio dropout. So I don't believe it's a Streamyard issue, and it could be, right. I don't think it's a Streamyard issue though. I do believe it may be more so of a issue with this IZO Link Pro. So again, I got this just kind of trying to get some of the clicks and pops out of the Apollo interface that I'm using. And you see console back here for those of you who all are familiar with Apollo. My understanding is that these things are on Windows, so you gotta do all kind of little weird stuff. So the first thing we're gonna do is go to YouTube University. I was listening to a beat video. I'm gonna kind of play it a little bit for anybody that want to hear it. Oh, the audio is not going through. Let's see. If I can't hear it, y'all can't hear it. There we go. All right.
That shit hit hard. Fuck, I was thinking.
All right. So this might be
From Chilium Studios, and today I would like to show you how I fixed issues I was having with my Universal Audio Apollo Twin interface causing popping and crackling in my DAW, in this case Ableton Live 10. I am using the Thunderbolt interface on Windows 10 on an HP Spectre X360 convertible laptop, but I believe that these steps might help people that are using other interfaces and versions of Windows as well. Also, I'm using the Cable Matters Thunderbolt 3 to Thunderbolt 2 adapter, and it seems to be working just fine. The two steps that fixed my issue were lowering my max processor speed in my power settings and disabling Intel Speed Step and the C1E processor state.
all right. So I
So
did
let's
both of
get
those
to
real
it.
quick.
It is important to note that the next step is contrary to what many Windows audio tweaking guides tell you to do, including Universal Audio's. So you may have We're going to right click on the Windows icon. We're going to go to Power Options. On the right hand side, we're going to go to Additional Power Settings. You are going to select your power plan and hit Change Plan Settings. Go to Change Advanced Power Settings. In the window that pops up, you are going
I gotta
to
watch this again.
expand
Hold on a
Processor Power Management.
Yeah, they move it too
You're going to
fast for me.
expand Maximum Processor State. Go to Change Advanced. On the right hand side, we're going to go to Additional Power Setting.
All right, additional power settings. Let's start there. All right, so I think this is one of the issues I ran into. Power mode can't be set while high performance power plan is used. All right, so how do I change my power plan? Power and battery. No, can't do that. Lower screen, lower battery screen. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna go to another YouTube video. I'm gonna go to Windows 11, change power. Man, Start setting system power for power module. Choose for power module. Alright, is that where I'm at? Power mode can't be set while high performance mode plan is used. How did that happen though? Did something to the same place? Yes. Back to YouTube University. And of course, it's not just a video that I can have a whole bunch of ads. 12 pounds. Alright, let's try this. Control panel, power options. Control panel. Alright. Come on in. Come in. Come in. Alright, we back. Thanks, no one that's watching, for your patience. People that decide to watch in the future, appreciate your patience. Let's see. Alright. Options. There we go. Probably why. Alright. So we're gonna take it off of balanced. Cool. Change plan settings. Change advanced power settings. Alright. Processor management. This is the part we did. Maximum processor state 95. So we have that set up. But we also have to keep it on the balanced power plan. Alright, cool. Alright, so we're going to okay to that. Cancel out of that. Alright, put computer to sleep on battery, turn off display. Probably never unplug it. Sure. I'll give it 5 minutes for plug in. We'll save that. Alright. Yes, come in. All right, we are back again. Let's see.
You were going to select your power plan and hit change plan settings. Go to change advanced power settings. Power management. You're going to expand maximum processor state and then change the number here to 99% for plugged in, or if you're on battery, 99% as well. You can also go lower. Hit OK. Close all these out. For the next step, we are going to disable Intel Speed Step and the C1E processor state. On most computers, you do this in the BIOS, so you can check with your manufacturer on how to do that. On my particular laptop, which is an HP Spectre, I didn't have the options to change any of the processor states, so I downloaded a program called Throttle Stop. I will link it below. So once you download it, all you need to do is execute it. And then you're going to go over, you're going to uncheck Speed Step. And
All right, so mine is already turned off, so I don't have to adjust those.
And that's it. These steps helped stop my noise issues and random popping with my universal audio interface. I hope they help you out too. If they do, please just comment below. If they don't, comment below and maybe we can help you out. Also, if you hit subscribe below, I'm going to be putting up more helpful guides in the future, so I hope to see you guys soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, let's see.
An Apollo solo, and he was asking me like what how to get it to work, and I told him I kind of got it working only halfway. You can go through my comments on this video if you guys want to, but basically he gave me the link to 2 videos, and this helped me open up OBS. I had never even used it until today, literally today, and it took me link is going to be in the description. This is the second link for the second video. I finish elementary. Go ahead and give him a like. He literally uploaded not too long ago, only 700 something views, and basically he shows you how to set up the thing. He also tells you how to download it, but I feel like he didn't do such a good job of explaining it. But what he does do a good job of explaining is how to set it up, because
so if you've been trying to get audio from your DAW into OBS to use for recording or streaming, but you're not having any luck, or there's latency, or there's some plugins out there that cost money, but you don't want to pay for that, I'm going to show you on this video how to do all of that for free, regardless of what your DAW you're using. Let's get into it. And on this video, I'm going to show you how to get your audio from your DAW into OBS so you can use it for recording and streaming. So what's nice is that OBS now supports VST plugins. So the same VST plugins that you can use in your DAW, like Ableton, you can actually use it in OBS as well. Now the plugins that's actually going to do all the magic is called Replugs from Reaper. Shout out to Vincent Diamante. That's how I found out about this plugin. So if you go to reaper.fm/replugs, which I'll put a link for that in the description below, you can download this plugin.
Hey everyone, in this video I want to recap on the last review video that I did. I actually upgraded my computer, as I said in the video, which you should do if you want to make it work. I actually did that. I bought a new motherboard, I bought a new CPU. I made it work, but then I still found another problem that a lot of people have in the universal audio community, which is on playback, they have a crackling sound in their voice recording with the microphone, but only with the microphone. So live playback, they have no problem, but as soon as you start using like Audacity or some like audio streaming or something, they will hear a crackling in their voice. I found out that this is a driver issue and I found a fix for it. I spent a whole night figuring it out, but I figured it out and I'm gonna share it today with you guys. Hey everyone, so right now we are on my computer and I'm going to walk voice anymore. So first of all, we are at the UAD forums right now at the support and troubleshooting page.
Alright, so note
and you
to
can already
self.
see
Alright, so note to self. I'll
literally
have to-
like 1 day ago someone also talked about the Windows
Oh, I forgot.
WDM, and that's like the driver, the Windows Direct Direct Music or something like that, I don't know, Direct Sound driver that comes with the Apollo Twin X on Windows. And you can see this guy is having a problem with it. There are a lot of people actually who have a very similar problem. I can see it right here, right now, because it's the first page. But if I go through it, you'll probably see a lot of other people having the same problem. Here also crackling, distortion, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of people have this same issue, and I was just looking and looking for different solutions. And like I tried everything that I could, like switching bit rates and checking all the bit rate and etc. and all the all the settings. But this thing has actually worked for me. So what I found this one post that literally has 2 replies. Yes, it has 2 replies. And this guy says it has a potential solution. It's called the ACO Link Pro. And I was like, I already figured out that it was a driver problem, because it was working in FL Studio. It was not working on the programs that use different drivers. That's only caused the crackling. So I was 100% sure it has to be the driver. So this guy, he actually made this post and he was trying all these crazy like connections to run it through to make the driver thing work. And he found this software. It said, I found this software. It's called ACO Link Pro. It's not showing how. So I'm going to show you how, because other people apparently didn't. So yeah, first of all, this other guy is also like try VMix. That didn't work for me as well. I also tried that. So he gives the links. He gives the link to the ACO Link Pro in this forum post. But I also you can just Google it. You type in ACO Link Pro download. You will get the one with gift.academy. That's like the original real website that you need to have. And this is the patcher. So you go to downloads. You see the ACO Link Pro patcher, the top one. First you get the ACO Link Pro tool installer. You install it. And the patcher you use later to patch it, because at first you'll have a trial version. And you will need this. Actually, he died. And the brother of the person who made it, he made a patcher so that everybody can still use this, because there are so many people that have problems and that need this program to make things work. It says the best driver level audio routing solution for Windows. I kind of agree, it is. It is amazing. It's very hard to use, it's very tricky, but once you make it works wonders. It works absolutely wonders. Alright, so after you've installed it, I can't stop it right now because my mic will start crackling again. So I'm keeping this thing right on. But once you start it up, you will get this screen right here, this small box. And you will have some settings in here. I have this, everything enabled, everything that's green, that's enabled. You can like reset. I have everything preferred here, 64 in, 64 out, etc. Then you can click on Start ACO and it will open this screen. If you open it for the first time, you'll just be like, what the hell is this? Well, I thought the same, but I started seeing that it was routing things from different devices and from different inputs to certain outputs. That's basically what it's doing. As you can see, as soon as I'm talking, you see this thing going up and down. That's like there's input and they can measure it. So the first thing I did is first when you start it, you need to pick a driver.
you need to pick the Universal Audio Thunderbolt driver. Your computer should be able to recognize this ACO driver from your Thunderbolt device, from your Apollo Twin X device. As soon as you do that, you will see that it starts recognizing the inputs that come from your mic, because your mic is plugged into your Universal Audio interface. So that should work. Driver ins here that give input. So you can see I have 1, 3, and 4 that give me a signal. But 3 and 4 also give a signal when I play music. So then you would hear me and my music in the background in the same input, and that's not what you want, right? So the first one is only my mic. I found out that this one is for me, at least, was only my mic input. So I routed it to this thing here, and I routed it to this and to this. I just routed everything like in one, just to make sure that it was working. I just like I said, it was late night. I was just trying everything I could. So and apparently,
I'll pause it real quick just to jump in. So one thing worth adding to, one of the things I noticed is that, so kind of to his point, right? This level that says ASIO driver, these are all of the inputs, and these are actually the outputs coming from Apollo. And so depending on which Apollo you have, you'll have different outputs. And here, let me show you what I'm talking about. If we go in IO matrix. All right, so you see inputs 1 through 25, and then on the output side, you have 1 through 24. But if you look at, let's see, 20, you look at 21 and 22 on the input side. These are actually inputs, my apologies. So on the input side, 21, 21, this is actually monitor left and right. So what's happening is that my monitor left and right, which is when outputs 21 and 22, are coming out. I'm routing those to the ASIO host mixed in, left and right. They're stereo channels, so again, you got 1 and 2. And then I'm having those go right to the ASIO VAT Pro mix out, which is why you can hear it. So then once because if I disconnect any of these, that'll kill the whole signal. Now, one of the things you'll my microphone is actually routed into input 1 of the Apollo X4. So if I changed it and actually had kind of how they have it set up in the video too.
this made it work. So
if we had it set up how they have it set up, whereas you see just one channel, essentially, again, kind of to his point, he has one microphone going in, has it going into a mono channel, and it's just kind of going straight out. So, all right, let me move this out of the way and we'll get back into the video.
it will route it to this output right here. All right, stay with me. Then you go to your settings from the sound settings in Windows. All right, okay, I'll move these for now. So right now we are on the settings page. And output, you can just select your Thunderbolt, whatever you want. I assume you want to use a Thunderbolt. That's fine. But as an input, this is very important. You don't use the microphone Universal Audio Thunderbolt WDM, because this is the original input. These drivers that you get here, these are the ones that you get from this program, from this ACO ProLink program. And I showed you right here, I have number 1 as my output right here. So I selected mix 1. And now because the microphone is first routed through an ACO driver and then given as an output, or as an input I should say, this mix 1 input, that is causing it to go through ACO instead of the Windows Direct Sound driver. And that will make the crackling stop. At least that did it for me. So try to download this program. The ACO driver thing as an input, and that should do the trick for you guys.
So that was it for this video, guys. I hope this fix worked for you. If it didn't, you can also try to disable your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth connections or your adapters in your computer or laptop, because the signals that come from these devices can also intervene with your microphone and cause the crackling. So make sure if this fix didn't work for you, make sure to also check that. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you guys later.
Now it is time to take it out of the box.
I was really excited to get the Apollo, but then this happened. Let me tell you how we got here. What's up guys, Kurt here from Third Island Productions, back again with another video. Today I'm going to be giving you guys my experience with the Apollo product. So the Apollo is an interface made by Universal Audio. It's probably one of the best audio interfaces on the market. I have the Twin, which is a 2-channel audio interface. The thing that's special about the Apollo is how great its audio to digital conversion is and the unison preamps. I finally decided to bite the bullet because I really wanted to upgrade my interface. And I went on Sweetwater and they have the 0% financing for 48 months, so I decided to do it. I got it. I started shooting an unboxing video, and then this happened. What the f***'s going on? So I have no idea what's going on. I've never encountered anything like this in my life with a Focusrite or another interface that I've used before. So I did the basic thing anyone would do. Make sure that the buffer size and sample rate is the exact same within your DAW and in the Universal Audio software, and also on my sound card. I did my best to make sure all those matched up, and they did. Still had the problem. I switched out some cables, I checked with another interface, and I tried a bunch of different speakers, unplugged and replugged in my Thunderbolt cable. I tried everything I could possibly think of, and nothing worked. So I was looking at a bunch of forums, and I noticed that Universal Audio, they have a good customer service, but they were hard to reach out to. So I reached out to Sweetwater, and they helped me out with the situation instantly. I've always loved Sweetwater, and especially and we got a phone call going, and I was on the phone with them for about an hour. I'd let them control my computer to figure out the issues, and we troubleshooted and went through all of the different things that we could have to resolve it. And even after troubleshooting with Sweetwater, the problem was still there. So after we went through each step and it still didn't work, they gave them a list of things that needed to be done in order for it to work. So a few of these issues are important for anyone that is planning on buying this. I have an MSI Creator 15. It's a brand new Windows computer. I got it a few months ago. So I was working with UA, the guys who made the product and know everything about it, and we had a couple different theories. And I'm referencing the original email I got. So the first thing they told me to do, disable all processor throttling settings in your BIOS. These are the Intel Speed Step, C-State, and Turbo Boost on Intel processors. Number 2, Windows optimization, optional settings. Number 3, now open Device Manager and right-click disable Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, LAN connections temporarily to see if it has any effect on the issue.
Did it?
No, it did not. Number 5, set the buffer size and console greater than sign settings to 32. Lower buffer sizes are best for WDM performance. Just be sure to bump this back up when working in your DAW. Number 6, make sure your BIOS and Thunderbolt chipset software is up to date. Run any Windows updates. Number 7, remove all peripherals, hard drives, and hubs other than the keyboard and mouse temporarily to see if there are any conflicts. If these steps do not solve it, please provide a few me to do. And I was also assisted by a tech support. I was also assisted by a tech support from Sweetwater, and they walked me through it. We both did it together. Again, just gotta say how great the service is with Sweetwater. And UA was really helpful as well. They gave very thorough information on how to resolve it, so I'm not knocking UA. So after we went through all the steps, went through all of Universal Audio's requests, to change the settings on my computer, still did not work. So we sent a follow-up email to Universal Audio, and this is what they had to say. I just took a thorough look through the reports again with a colleague and troubleshooting we have done so far. At this point, unfortunately, it looks like the customer is running into the known issue bug that is actively being worked on by our engineers. The customer appears to have gone through all available workarounds. I would say that it may just be a matter of waiting for the future update that addresses this bug. So from here, I unfortunately think it may be beneficial for you to work with your sales engineer to consider other options that will work better for your system. Of course, you are also welcome to wait for updates from Universal Audio. I've copied your sales engineer in this email, yada, yada, yada. So
I was hearing like a little hissing sound,
overall,
so I was hoping that
they did a really good job with getting back to me and giving me an honest opinion of what I should do. But if you're thinking about buying this product and you're a Windows user, this might happen to you. I'm not saying it'll happen to everybody, but it happened to me. But I'm not the only one. This is not a super common problem, but there are a lot of people dealing with this. Obviously, Universal Audio said this is something the engineers are working on to update. But unfortunately, I'm really disappointed. I'm gonna be having to return the product, and thankfully Sweetwater lets me return it and get all my update. I'm definitely gonna buy it again because it is a great product and I know a lot of people like attest to how amazing it is. But for now, I can't use it. Is the Apollo Twin right for you?
Hey everyone, in this video
all right, let's see. Let's try Osio Link Pro Apollo audio drops.
Hey everybody, I'm Ronnie Satmeyer, Big Bang Audio. Locked down and doing some studio stuff like a lot of people. I'm seeing a lot of people streaming stuff live and using OBS, and I started following some stuff, whether it was on the user group for UAD or Reaper or home recording, or I don't know, different forums or on Facebook. And I saw a couple people talking about some things that related to the issues I was having for a long time now. My main issue is I started using OBS to do my tutorials to screen grab, and I wanted to record, you know, my DAW into it, and I wanted to record my voice into it, and then just lock the camera to that. So I can do a slate, a clap, or whatever. But every time I did a vocal, a voiceover in OBS, it would crackle. Like there's a driver problem or a clocking sound, you know, you get. But the audio for playback of my music sounded great. So I couldn't figure it out. And you see here on the screen, ignore all this, but there's desktop audio, which is like your normal Windows sounds, which all my Windows sounds are turned off. And then I was actually trying to use this mic input, because that's what I thought you were supposed to use. That was crackling. Then I saw everybody talking about Osio Link, a rare old software where the designer passed away, so it hasn't been really updated. And I just heard about it yesterday. So I downloaded it, followed all the tips. It's a little confusing looking, but it makes sense. I set everything up. And basically what that thing does is it's replacing this driver here. That's not the right place. It may not show it now. Yeah, maybe it doesn't show. See, it says no device because I disabled it. Because I did everything they told me to do and it still didn't work. I still had the crackling. It still just wasn't working. I figured out my own working thing that maybe everyone else has figured out and I was too dumb to figure out before, but I finally figured it out. And what it is, I had a, I'm going to ignore all this stuff up in the top here. This bottom used to be just called ASIO. And it's now, I labeled it DAW, but it's basically, you get different ASIO inputs that you can select, and I didn't know that. I'm seeing this box here, and I'm assuming OBS just has this set up, and you can route things to it. I can go in here and I can click on properties, and I can tell it, you know, it's my speakers are going out to Thunderbolt. Telling it what I wanted it to be. Everything was working, but it was crackling. And there was latency. Of course, I'm not wearing headphones, so it didn't matter. But as I was experimenting with that whole, this DAW audio thing, I realized when I clicked on it and went to properties, it was telling me it's already, that's my Thunderbolt and it's stereo, and I'm using virtual channels, which I already knew. Let me drag this over from my other monitor. Go to the end. There it is. I labeled it DAW. That's you know, my playback of my DAW on Reaper for my videos. So then it dawned on me, and I don't know why I never thought of it. There's my voiceover. I did just this. Click this, and I'm used to clicking display capture when I want to set up what I'm doing right now is capturing the screen. But if you go to the top, it creates this little area, and I can go in here and select, you know, I can route it from Reaper, but I'm using Thunderbolt. And there's stereo, there's all my I/O. I can do mono, which I did my voiceover as, and just pick a mic. And I could pick several mics. I could set up several of these and have different line, like almost like a podcast. I never knew that was there. But by doing that, you're bypassing the Windows stuff, that ASIO link software that everyone's going crazy for, because I think the link was down, you couldn't find it. Now I found it and you can use it. But you really don't even need to use that. You can just go over here and set up your, especially on Thunderbolt, I don't know how it works with the USB version, but now it's simple. And now my audio is coming through. And I was using this. I was going to a laptop with my audio interface just to record my voice, because or not DA60, just D60. Sounds good, but it was just recording my vocals through its mic pre's, and you know, I had to take it out, put it into Reaper, process my voice, cut any noise out, or you know, speaker bleed as I'm talking on top of my music or whatever, and then locking all that to everything in DaVinci. This trims so much time down, because now I'm just going straight into a set of tracks on our mono track and OBS, another stereo pair all playback, and kind of processing a little bit going in. I'm just using the Neve 88 channel just to do some EQing. I'm actually gating, as you see. The room just self-idling and outside noise. And that's with the gate on. And I did a little EQ. After that, just to fatten my voice up, because I put a little bit of a limiter on it, just in case I clap or something. And that's it. So my voice is being processed going in now. I don't have to do it as much. And in DaVinci, I can clean up any noise but anybody else who's probably, I've seen a lot of people having different problems. It seems like we all have unique problems for our own systems. Some guys will tell you to do something that works perfect, and 3 other guys will jump in and say it worked perfect for them, and then 4 other guys come in and say it didn't work for them. I was one of the guys that didn't work well with ASIO.
All right, so
and I'm
I'm
kind of
actually
glad,
going to go ahead and
because I
stop
found
the
this by
stream now,
accident.
because
This is
I
much
need to
better,
kind of confirm
and
if I'm
does
still getting
exactly
these
what I
audio
wanted
drop
to do.
issues.
And I'm not running
This
through
doesn't
some weird
seem
driver
to.
and whatever. So that's how you do it. Click this little thing down here, click ASIO, name it something, and then just select your driver inside of there, and boom, you're good to go.
In this video, we explain how to get started with an Apollo X Series interface on Windows 11. Windows must be configured and optimized to ensure you get the best possible performance with your new Apollo and UAD2 plugins. First, to make sure Windows is up to date, click on the Start menu and open the Settings panel. Expand the window and then select Windows Update from the options on the left and install any available updates. Second, some computers require additional updates before Thunderbolt hardware can be used, so we always recommend that the computer's Thunderbolt drivers, software, and BIOS are up to date by installing the latest versions from the computer manufacturer's website. This process may vary slightly by manufacturer, however, you can find the latest updates by looking up your computer or motherboard model on the manufacturer's website. The Thunderbolt updates can generally be found in the support or download section under the chipset category, and the BIOS updates can be found under the BIOS category. Updates listed for your system. In addition to updates, some people in this video, we show you how to set up independent
PCs
queue mixes with Apollow
manually
interfaces. Enable Thunderbolt in the BIOS before any Thunderbolt hardware can be used. The steps for entering the BIOS and enabling this setting will vary depending on the computer or motherboard manufacturer and the BIOS version installed. If you're not sure how to access the BIOS on your system, we suggest checking with the manufacturer's documentation. Please refer to our video, UAD Windows Setup and Optimization, for additional configuration and optimization instructions. Now, to register your Apollo, you will need a UA account. Creating an account is free and is required to register your Apollo and claim the included UAD plugins. To make a UA account and start registration, open a web browser and go to uaudio.com/. After the account is created, select your device from the drop-down menu and click Begin. Now, follow the on-screen instructions to connect your Apollo to your computer's Thunderbolt port. Note that all compatible Thunderbolt ports and cables will display the Thunderbolt symbol on them. Beware of other cables that use USB-C connectors but do not have a Thunderbolt symbol, as they are not compatible. Active and passive Thunderbolt 3 cables can be used with no difference in performance. Visit help.uaudio.com for more information about cable compatibility. After the Apollo is connected to your computer, power on the hardware. Click Next to continue to the Downloads page and download the UAD software. The download for UAD software contains all drivers and UAD2 plugins to use with your Apollo. The software includes
Hello everyone, how are you doing? This is MD Tech here with another quick tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to resolve if your audio is crackling, popping, or making sounds it's not supposed to be making on your Windows 10 or Windows 11 computer. So this should hopefully be a pretty straightforward process, guys, and without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So first thing I recommend doing would be to open up the search menu and type in Control Panel. Best match, come back with Control Panel. Go ahead and open that up. So your view by the large icons, and then you want to select Power Options. So go ahead and left click on that. You want to select where it says Change Plan Settings. Go ahead and left click on that, whichever one corresponds to the currently selected plan. Option underneath PCI Express for Processor Power Management. You want to expand that, and you would set minimum processor state to 100% for both the on battery and plugged in, assuming they're both applicable to your device. If you had a laptop, you would have on battery and plugged in. Again, underneath PCI Express would be another category that says Processor Power Management. You click the little plus next to it, and then there'd be a minimum processor state. Click the plus next to that, and then there would be an on battery and plugged in. You set both of those to 100%. And then once you're done with that, see if that resolves the problem. Something else we can try here as well, if you click the back arrow and go back to the Control Panel Items page, we're going to go ahead and select the sound entry in here. And now we're going to select Playback tab, which should be the default landing page, and then select your speaker. And now there should be a drop down underneath Default Format. You want to click inside this drop down here, set it to 16-bit 44100 Hertz, which is CD quality. So you can play around between the DVD and CD quality. You're welcome to come back in here and modify this, and you can always set it back to default by selecting Restore Defaults down the road if you chose to do so. click the test button and you'd see if you
Did you ever wish to do a proper music production on a Windows device or laptop, for instance? Maybe you got an Apollo X4 just like I have over here, or some other device you would like to use with a DAW, or even for Discord calls, which might surprise you is a little bit problematic when I got a solution for you. I would like to share it with you. Let's go. You are having issues with crackling or popping noises or some audio dropouts or anything like that, and you are trying to make Apollo interface run on Windows device, and this video is for you, so you want to stick around. I spent several days trying to figure this shit out, and so I'm happy to share it with you guys. Here we go. Greetings, fellow humans. Vasilisk here. Just got a Mac. Like everybody's probably telling you already. I mean, it works fine, but I get it. If you want more horsepower, you go for Windows. So let's try get it working. These two devices are real beasts, but those beasts don't do shit if the music and audio just tender. It's the new MSI GE76 11UG, I think. Tiamat edition, very pretty. I like it a lot, but there are some issues here. So I pretty much installed everything here, the UAD drivers. The ACU driver works just fine as long as you have everything set up to the same frequency. So if you go here to our speakers, then we go properties, advanced, this thing here shall match the UAD console. Let me open it up. Here we go. Yep, so basically this right here has to match the other window. So we have 48 kilohertz here. That's what I prefer. You can also go for other values as well. I think same value for the recording, albeit I would advise you against using WDM. So basically those playback options are using the WDM drivers, and we will be bypassing them. So you'll only use ASIO driver, as those are very stable and work just fine. I will show you right now the steps that you need to do in order to make it run without any crackling and issues. Like if you are changing a sample rate, you don't need to disconnect and reconnect the device anymore, as far as I remember. At least with this fix, sort of. And the Discord and other software like Slack, Teams, whatever, they will also work just fine. So we will need to alter some BIOS settings. With this device, they are a bit more complicated. I will also show on my second one, which shut down my device and go into the BIOS settings. Booting the system and pressing delete, because in this case, delete is the button that will open up BIOS. Here we go. And what you need to do here is disable the CPU C states. So I already have this disabled right here, and other necessary settings are not available in the MSI BIOS, so we will need to do it in a different way. Let me show you. So be sure to save it and just let it reboot. EXE. Infinity, we disable all the cores and make this process run only on CPU 2. Don't ask me why it was necessary to fix, but on this particular device there was only one thing missing, and I will show it to you as well. So we go ahead and Ctrl-Alt-Delete, check Task Manager, and then we go into Details. Let me make it bigger. Oh, that doesn't actually help. Shit. Okay. So basically, you can sort it by name, then find audio dj.exe, set priority to high, change priority. Then we go set affinity, we disable all the cores, and make this process run only on CPU 2. Don't ask me why, I think this is some sort of Windows issue, like memory leakage. Something about this shit. I think a lot of people are having issues because of this process. I suggest you download Voicemeeter, either the regular Voicemeeter, banana or potato, depending on how many inputs and outputs you require. I have potato installed right here, and I also use the x64 version. I think that you will also require x64. I mean, like 99% of people are running x64 systems. As of find audio dj.exe, set priority to high, change priority. Then we go set affinity, we disable all the cores, and make this process run only on CPU 2. Don't ask me why, I think this is some sort of Windows issue, like memory leakage or something. I'm not sure. A lot of people are having issues because of this process. I suggest you download Voicemeeter, either the regular Voicemeeter, banana or potato, depending on how many inputs and outputs you require. I have potato installed right here.
Come here.
And I also use the x64 version. I think that you will also require x64. I mean, like 99% of people are running x64 systems as of now. Then what you need to do next is select your hardware out, which is Universal Audio Thunderbolt in my case, but it certainly has to be ASIO, as it's more reliable than MME or WDM drivers. Then you go into the menu. You can also make it start on Windows Startup. Will save you some hassle. Then we go. If you're like me and you're using your interface for mic input, mic preamp. So I have a mono channel 3 on the UAD Apollo, and I route it to the first insert. So I only assign it on the one side since it's mono. I don't touch those settings, and it's converting from 44.1 to 48 kilohertz on the fly. I shall not touch this, it's fine. In my situation at least. Then I click here on mono, so it knows it's mono, and I selected B3, which goes here, and it stands for, I think, ASIO 3, because there are like 3 outputs. So let me show you real quick. I go into Discord settings. FiO3 output. So basically everything which is routed here to this channel, to this output, is being inserted into Discord in this situation. And for output device I also use this, but here you can specify something different. FiO3 works for me since it's actually outputting everything through Voicemeeter back into UAD interface. Using this console, you can also capture the output of the DAW, which is also very nifty. Voicemeeter has his own ASIO driver, which doesn't introduce much latency, at least in my particular situation. And for the system output, I also specify FiO3, but you can go also with something else. This FiO3 seems to work the most reliable for me. As it works same way for every setup that I created and works flawlessly and doesn't introduce any clicks and pops. If you are experiencing clicks and pops, try setting priority and affinity like I showed you just a moment ago. Well, let's go on. On the second device, I need to press F2 in order to get into BIOS settings. It depends on the manufacturer of your device, so I suggest you Google it, which keyboard press works for you. For the Dell device, we need to go into the performance section. Oh, it takes a while. Let me just use this. Oh, shit. Oh, hell. All right, so what you have to do is disable speed step technology. I think, let me know in the comment section if I'm wrong on this, but what speed step actually is allowing the processor is frequencies at the same time, which can cause different voltages and, well, as I said, core frequencies, and this will introduce pops and noises. All right, so you can also try disabling C states. At least for me, it was not necessary. Turbo boost, I would advise against disabling this ever. Same goes for hyperthreading. Don't touch those two. These will cripple your device in terms of performance. So only touch those two. As I said, disabling speed step technology was enough for this particular device. I didn't even have to touch affinity or set the priority for the process as I showed you on the other device, and it works flawlessly now. You can even run like FL Studio, Ableton, Discord. And you can actually use also the native ACO driver for Apollo or other manufacturer simultaneously. It doesn't introduce any issues, it doesn't have any noticeable latencies or anything. So I hope it also